Hi. I probably shouldn't be making this video while I am intoxicated. Gosh, I took off my thing, so now it is difficult to look at myself. I wanted to explain alcohol and losing weight. Okay, I'm back. So, alcohol itself is not the inherent problem. A lot of people who have gained weight, a lot of weight over a short period of time, sometimes it is due to alcohol. Take the freshman 15 in college, for example. So tonight, I maybe drank, I would say 700 calories worth of alcohol. I had 3 Moscow Mules and I had 3 Stella Ciders. And it was a lot. It was a lot. But I also did not eat breakfast and I did not eat lunch. And for dinner, I had a turkey burger. So I had enough calories to spare. It really, unless there is an inherent problem, like say you're a recovering alcoholic, then I would definitely advise against any sort of drinking at all if you're a recovering alcoholic. But let's say you like to go out every once in a while and have fun. I will say that in order to do so, you must plan ahead for what you're going to do. If you have a bar crawl, I will say definitely eat beforehand. But be mindful of the calories you intake. Keep a calorie count of the drinks that you consume and make sure that you have a stopping point. And I think that is the biggest point to take away from this, is there needs to be a stopping point. And mine was after a bee's knees, which is just vodka, lemon, and honey. But that was I had counted my calories up until then, and I knew that was the last one. In order to stay in my calorie range, because liquid calories are just as important in your diet as food calories, like actual, tangible food. It's the exact same thing, and they count towards the same thing, which is a difficult thing to wrap your head around, because food and liquid, in your mind, they can be different things, but they all equal the same calorie goal that you have set for yourself, and you must make sure that you have a stopping point, especially with liquid calories. That's why I always say drink water instead of juice, drink water instead of soda, because those calories can add up, especially if you're out for a night of drinking alcohol. And alcohol can get pretty hefty when it comes to calories, especially if it's beer or cider. Especially the sugar content in both of those can lead to just, overextending that limit. It's not fun, and when you wake up the next morning and you remember all the things that you put into your body, it is not a fun time. So I will say, not only in terms of calories, but in terms of your overall health, there needs to be a stopping point when it comes to alcoholic beverages. And again, I reiterate, especially if it's beer or cider. Wine can also be testy when it comes to your intake of calories. I think a glass of white wine is about 160 calories on average. Same thing with red. You need to really make sure that you are mindful of what you're putting in your body. And especially if you want to eat afterwards, you have to really plan that out. And I'm not saying that you can't have fun every once in a while, that you can't indulge in drinking with your friends and just letting go and all that fun stuff that comes with alcohol. But I feel like there is some preparation you have to make for it. You have to know exactly what you're going to be drinking. You have to know that you should be drinking water for all other beverages of the day, and that your food intake should essentially benefit your drinking schedule if you do have one. Not don't eat so you can drink a bunch of alcohol, because alcohol settles in your stomach. It can cause imbalances in your stomach acid and make you feel really sick, or it could, your liver processes alcohol faster when there is no food in your system. drunkenness and tipsiness faster than you would want it to. So definitely plan your meals if you're going to be spending the night drinking, which is what I did. So I planned most of my meals. Unfortunately for this time around, and this is all on me, I didn't eat lunch today, which is unfortunate. My gigantic dinner was about 700 to 800 calories. I mean, it was I had a lot of filling things in this dinner. And with the calories I consumed via alcohol, it definitely equaled around 1,500, maybe a little bit over, maybe 1,600, which is fine for me. And I mean, I had a lot to drink tonight. It is mostly, again, I have to say, with the exception of a underlying problem with alcohol, it is not the alcohol itself. It is how much of it you are drinking. And that leads to things like beer gut, and that leads to things like the freshman 15 in college. A lot of it is due to drinking, which is understandable. Beer and cider and wine have a lot of calories that you don't even think of, especially when you're a college student who has been monitored and now is no longer monitored, and you like to indulge in drinking. It's easy to lose count, and it's easy to lose count of the amount of beverages you are drinking, especially if you're eating in between, because drinking does make you hungry. That alcohol content makes you want snacks, which is another reason that the freshman 15 is completely accurate. Except mine was like the freshman 100. It's pretty bad. This is really the most important takeaway, I think, is really know your boundaries, know your limits when it comes to alcohol. Know exactly how much you can handle, and know exactly how many calories you can intake via liquid calories. So there's always caloric information on the back of beers and the back of ciders. Now, wine is a little bit difficult. You're going to have to average that out. But normally you can look up things online that tell you exactly what calorie count that a glass of a certain type of wine has. But I know that they don't normally list it on the bottle, so you're going to do a little bit more research on that one. But in all honesty, liquid calories can sneak up on you. So it is very important that you're keeping track of those boundaries that you've already set. Especially if you plan on eating during. If you go to a bar and it's also a restaurant, blah, 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 bar food can get calorically dense. Most of it is fried. So you really have to keep in mind the calorie count of the foods that you are also intaking as you are drinking throughout the night. I don't know why that I thought this was a good idea to do while intoxicated. Hey baby, you look super cute right now. Sorry, my cat is doing that loaf thing where they put their hands underneath their hands. They put their paws underneath their bodies, and it looks like they're a loaf of bread. It's very cute. Anyway, fun stories from my drinking time tonight. I met a bunch of cool people. I definitely met these two people who invited me to their pool, so I might take them up on that. I put my number in their phone as Caid from McHale's, Caid from the bar, which is, hopefully they'll remember that. I don't know if they will, but I love pools, so I want to go to one, and they have one. So that is all I'm going to say. It's been a night. I'm very tired. I want to watch Daredevil really bad. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.
The best cure for a hangover. It's just a good 2-hour workout. I want to go back to bed. Did the elliptical for a while. Exciting stuff. Well, I'm about to do some free weights. Good stuff.
All right. Hey, so Banks, please. So I'm making probably the healthiest French fry snack I can think of, because I know that when I am drinking, I tend to want something salty. I tend to want something, greasy and Oh, baby. So I'm gonna show you guys what I do to counteract that. I'm basically gonna be making the healthiest French fries you could possibly make. So I started out by cutting 2 potatoes into wedges. So here they're also soaking in hot water because it brings out the starch and all that fun stuff. Soaking them in hot water, soaking potatoes in hot water in general is always better if you're trying to bake them because it makes them crispier. I forget the science behind it. But I'm preheating the oven to about 400 degrees and I'm letting the potato wedges soak until then. And as soon as that's done, I'm taking the potato wedges out and I am drying them with a lint-free towel. You don't want to eat fuzzies. Putting them back in the bowl without the water and tossing them in olive oil. And I have onion powder, garlic powder, I have tarragon, it's my favorite spice. You don't have to put that on there. Lemon pepper, which is my second favorite spice. You also don't have to put that on there. But garlic and onion for sure, because it's gonna make them taste really good, but also salt and pepper. And I am gonna be making a sriracha vegan mayo sauce for them. But again, oven preheated to 400 degrees, and I'm gonna bake them for 30 minutes. And then I'm gonna take them out, flip all of the wedges over, and then put it back in for about another 20. Usually my oven, with this oven, it takes about 20 more minutes and they're done. Generally, once you can pierce them pretty easily with a fork all the way through and take it out and nothing's on the fork, it's kind of like cake. But generally that means they're done. If they can be pierced very easily, generally that means that baked potatoes are done, no matter what form. How I cut the potatoes was I sliced 2 russet potatoes in half lengthwise, and then I sliced those halves lengthwise, and then I sliced them all diagonally. So generally you should get about 8 wedges per potato. Per potato. If you're making like some for a big party, I would suggest more than 2, because I can blast through 16 potato wedges pretty easily, especially when they're this. Like, I think a russet potato is like 160 calories, or at least the kind that I got, per potato, and I have about 400 calories left. So essentially this is the healthiest version of French fries that you could possibly get when you're craving French fries after a bunch of alcohol. Because I don't know about you guys, but French fries are my #1 go-to food when I used to drink a lot, like in college. So I'll show you guys when these puppies are done. I'll probably show them to you on the pan before I put them in as well. And this is a pan that I've already used before to make my dinner, so there's still stuff on it. I probably should have cleaned it more, but you know, you live and you regret things. That's life, baby. All right, I'll see you when they are on the pan. After I tossed them in the olive oil and the salt and pepper and onion powder and garlic powder and tarragon and lemon pepper. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so there they are, neatly laid out on the pan. I tossed them in this bowl, which I will also wash, and this will be the serving bowl as well. I'll put a napkin, so all the oil, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. But yeah, so I'm gonna clean that out, and then that's gonna be the serving bowl. It looks like my oven is ready, and I'm gonna put these puppies in for about 30 minutes. And essentially they had all the spices, and I was thinking about possibly putting in some parsley at the very end, just to make it taste, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I'm gonna put these guys in, and I'll see you when they're done. Bye. Haha. So here they are. Some of the parsley kind of fell. You want some? Some of the parsley kind of fell into the thing. But here's the sriracha mayo. Just a little bit. That was like maybe 3 tablespoons of mayonnaise. Vegan mayo, so it's like 50 per tablespoon, calories wise. But yeah, no, I just gotta clean that when I think about it. But yeah, here they are. Beautiful, crispy potato wedges. And some dipping sauce. I'm gonna go enjoy these and watch the rest of Daredevil again. I have a problem. I watch TV shows over and over again until I get bored with them, which is almost never. Anyway, good snack.